athletics and extracurricular clubs will see significant cuts, which may include the elimination of freshman sports, may include moving to a pay-to-participate model. I think it's safe to say that no one on this board, no one in this administration wants to make these cuts. We presented a fair budget, and the voters chose to vote no. We presented all of our employees the opportunity to make a shared sacrifice and to avoid further cuts. And everyone but our teachers agreed to make concessions. We have suggested a lower reduction amount to municipalities that would hurt the district less than the $4.5 million. But it would seem that all or most of the municipalities want the $4.5. The board is still waiting for each municipality to pass a resolution on our budget. If all 8 municipalities agree on the same amount, we will then have to decide whether or not to appeal that amount to the State Department of Education. If we agree to accept the reduction of $4.5 million, we will have to define almost $2 million more in cuts than what I've already talked about. They were contained in the $2.6 million. Although the depth of the damage has yet to be determined, the bottom line is that right now, even with the cuts that have been identified, the Freehold Regional that students will enter in September will not be the same Freehold Regional of the past. We are looking at dramatic changes should any of these outcomes eventuate. Indeed, if there's any support that you can give us within your towns, we would welcome it. We're only in the middle of a very, very difficult process. And we will be moving forward and keep you apprised as appropriate. Comments, anyone? Questions? Before we go to public participation.
Mr. Lawrence, one other piece of this. We've had this happen, I believe in the last 13 years twice, where we had a budget defeat. The last one, I believe, in 2003, and at that time the mayors did not agree, and it went to the Commissioner of Education. The problem is not just in the amount that's cut once it's negotiated, it's the delay, because the process will not end on May 20th. Everything has to be done by the 19th, which is this Wednesday. The towns have to make a decision. It goes to Trent. That process can extend for a good several weeks. The last time it finished up sometime around the end of June, which meant we did not have a budget to go into the next school year, which means we cannot legally hire back staff to a point, because we don't know how many staff we're going to need. We've laid off a number of people. We've given RIF notices or non-renewal notices. We cannot order any materials. We can't order uniforms. We can't order supplies. We can't order textbooks. So the dilemma is the delay process, that you can't initiate spending money for next year when you don't know what your budget is. That's the delay. That's what happened last time. And so a lot of things then were put on hold. And the principals then were scrambling over the summer to try to get the supplies, equipment, and everything else ordered for September. And I will tell you, we had major delays across the board. So that's the other piece of this that is somewhat disheartening, in that there's an amount of money that you're talking about, and also the process.
Just another strong load.
Right.
Okay, Chris?
All right. I don't think I can keep quiet about this. There's probably some mayors who won't be happy. But I think that what's happened here is clearly not in the best interest of the children. It's retaliatory. It's not rationally related to taxes or any educational process. It's extremely upsetting. We work very hard to, one of the biggest concerns of this board was how we address the issues with at-risk children. You know, the kids who are excelling and doing well and are in stable environments where they have a good support structure, they'll always survive. We work so hard to create a safety net for the at-risk kids, and these cuts go right at them. We're going to lose that safety net. Kids are going to drop out of school. We will lose children to places where we never wanted to lose them to. And to me, that's just intolerable. And I'm going to fight like hell until I'm the last one standing, because I just think it's wrong. If the mayors are mad at the teachers, that's their business, they have a right to be, but they're taking it out on the kids. I saw one resolution where they eliminated the paraprofessionals. Well, I don't even know if you can do that legally. I'm not an education lawyer, but I think that means you take the help away from the disabled. So they have a section that they voted on that says we will take away the help from the disabled. Again, targeting the at-risk children. And I just don't get it. So I'm not giving up. I'll act as a private citizen to do whatever I can do before this is over. But, you know, I understand that we offered a compromise. But I was not happy about that compromise. I thought we gave up, frankly, too much and put kids at risk that didn't need to be at risk. And that's just how I feel. So I'm sure it's going to get written up. Somebody's going to put stuff on a blog, and, you know, I'll pay for it for months, but that's what I have to say.
Well said, thank you.
Yes, sir. Say something. I'd like to echo some of Ron's words, Chris's words. I'm really sick and tired of people talking about how much they care about kids. And I'm speaking specifically to some of the mayors in the towns that make up the Freehold Regional High School District. Some of these people have other agendas going on. And it is not about kids. And I'm so tired of people saying that these cuts are not going to affect the kids. You know, in war, there's a term called collateral damage. Who do you think is going to be the collateral damage when these cuts are made? It's not going to be the teachers who have the tenure and who are there, and some of them who made the decision not to give back. It's going to be the kids. And for those of you who know me, I coached for a long time in Freehold Borough. I certainly don't want to see sports cut. But I can't believe that we are actually contemplating putting kids on a field and at the same time cutting the athletic trainers. You have to be out of your mind. One lawsuit for a coach putting a kid back on the field would pay for 6 trainers for a couple of years. And I would like to know where all these people are so upset about our budget, which I thought that Sean did a great job on, and how below we are the average spend on per kid for an education. I want to know what these people think when the governor said that there will be no increase in taxes. Of course there's going to be increase in taxes. He might not make it, but he's going to force other people to make it. And I don't see the problems of this state being solved by destroying public education. I just don't see it. And I know that some people like Chris, you know, I'm going to be on the blogs, I have my own agenda. My agenda is the kids. And I'll say it to anyone's face. We don't get paid for this job, and I already said I'm a one-term person. 3 years. That's it. Nobody owns me. People talking about me drinking the Kool-Aid. The Kool-Aid that I drink is what's best for the kids. If that's not your agenda, then obviously you can vote somebody else in when my term is up. Because I will stand against any special interest. And believe me, you got a lot of people running these towns who have their own agendas going on. And it's not your kids, believe me.